Come to your neighborhood, though. Go to your neighborhood. We want to see you walk around Queens. Go walk around Queens, man.
Young Buck just went live and called out 50 Cent to walk through Queens with no security after 50 trolled him with a brutal AI meme on his own birthday. What did 50 post that pushed Buck over the edge? And did Buck just reignite an 18-year war he cannot win? Let's get into it. That birthday ambush. Around March 14th and 15th, 2026, Young Buck's 45th birthday weekend. David Darnell Brown, the Nashville OG who used to ride with 50 Cent as one of the founding pillars of G-Unit when they were running the entire rap game, was out here just living his life and minding his business. The man had no smoke with nobody. Homie was throwing what he called a rodeo birthday bash at his locker room Nashville saloon. Horses, cowboy vibes, Southern energy, the whole nine. On top of the party, he posted a gang of clips to his IG, just laid back footage of himself riding a horse through his block, chopping it up with the folks in the neighborhood, dapping up the homies, showing love to the people who had been showing love to him his whole life. No smoke, no subliminals, no shots, none of that. Just a grown man enjoying another year on this earth with the people who matter most. You could see it right there. The man was just out in the streets on his day, being embraced by his community. No problems, no beef on his mind whatsoever. Just genuine love from the block. OGs, showing respect. Neighbors coming through with the handshakes and the hugs. This is what it looks like when a man is truly rooted in where he comes from. And it was clear that Buck was soaking in every second of it. At this point in the live, Buck was still in full celebration mode, greeting the elders, showing love, keeping it 100 with his people. No drama whatsoever. No mention of 50 Cent, no mention of G-Unit, nothing. Just a man who was grateful to see 45 and wanted the world to see how his community felt about him. But all of that was about to change real quick because somebody else was watching this live too. That is what the birthday was about. Real riders, real folks, real community. But while Buck was out there keeping it solid and 50 Cent was already on his phone cooking up one of the most disrespectful posts in recent memory. That is the thing about Fifth. The man moves like a shark that smells blood in the water. It does not matter if you are minding your business, if you have not said a word about him. If 50 sees an opening to create content off your name, he is taking it every single time. The weapon he pulled out was an AI photoshopped parody image styled after the old school 1970s TV show The Dukes of Hazzard. And this was not some lazy thrown together meme either. This was a whole production, a detailed recreation of that classic promotional poster with the General Lee and the full cast. 50 had himself edited in as Bo Duke, the show's main protagonist. Tony Yayo was posted up in the frame right next to him, and the one that really set the internet on fire, Glorilla's sister Victoria Scarface Woods, better known as Big Glow's sister, was photoshopped directly onto the body of Daisy Duke, the iconic character known for those signature shorts. Then he threw T.I. in there as Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane, the bumbling cop from the show, because 50 had already been going at tip 2. Why violate one person when you can hit 3 in the same post? That is the 50 Cent way. And Buck, the man the entire image was aimed at, was the one being replaced, straight up erased from the squad and swapped out like he never existed. The caption, posted from 50 Cent for all his millions of followers to see, read like a direct humiliation play. It was crafted to sting, not just joke. It mocked Buck's place in G-Unit history and dragged back in personal rumors that have hovered over this beef for years. And when DJ Academics saw the post, even he had to pause. Because on the surface, sure, that caption reads like another one of 50's signature jokes. The kind that gets a million likes before breakfast. But if you really know the history, if you really have been tuned into what has been going on between these two for the past 18 years, then you understand that every single word in that caption was loaded, like a clip and aimed with intention. When 50 framed Buck as being kicked out, that was not no random bar. That was him reaching all the way back to Buck's messy public removal from G-Unit in 2008, which came down to royalty beefs, loyalty questions, and what 50 called reckless spending, and the personal jab folded in the same rumor card. 50 has been pulling out for years whenever he wants to publicly embarrass Buck. This was not some off-the-cuff Instagram joke. This was a calculated precision strike aimed at the two places that hurt the most: Buck's career legacy and Buck's personal life. That has been 50's playbook for almost 2 decades, and he knows exactly how to run it. Okay, so Buck saw that post and he responded hard. But before we even get to that, understand how fast this thing spread because it moved at a speed that even by internet standards was wild. The blog pages, academics, Baller Alert, Industry on Blast, Traps, In Trunks, and more reposted the image to their combined millions of followers within hours. YouTube reaction channels were uploading by sundown, cranking out videos with titles like 50 Cent Trolls, Young Buck on his birthday, and Young Buck crashes out on 50 Cent. Twitter went nuts with the memes. The broke boy jokes started flying. The Hood Challenge debate kicked off, and the comments sections on every platform turned into a war zone between folks riding with Buck and folks laughing with Fif. Even people adjacent to the post looked hyped that they were part of the conversation. The whole thing had legs from the jump, and it was not slowing down for nobody. And just like that, with one single strategically timed Instagram post, 50 Cent took a man's 45th birthday, a moment that should have belonged entirely to Buck and his people, and turned it into the opening round of the latest chapter in one of the most one-sided and relentless beefs in the entire history of hip-hop. But Buck, and I need y'all to hear me on this, was not about to take that lying down. Not this time. Not on his birthday, and what he did next is exactly where this whole thing caught fire. The clapback from Cap. Here is the thing about young Buck that a lot of people in the comments and the blog sections stay getting wrong. This is not some soft dude. This is not somebody who is going to sit there scrolling through his mentions, see that level of disrespect posted about him on his born day, and just let it ride like it is nothing. Not Buck, not the homie from Cash VILL. And to the man's full credit, he did not fold. He did not tuck his tail. He did not tweet out some vague inspirational quote about rising above the noise. What Buck did was 1,000 times more raw, 1,000 times more real, and rooted in the type of street community-backed energy that made him who he is in the first place. Homie grabbed his phone, opened IG, hit go live, and went straight to the trenches. Not a studio, not a penthouse, but directly into the heart of his Nashville block, surrounded by the OGs and the neighborhood cats that had been rocking with him since day one. Buck was physically posted up in his neighborhood, walking through the streets, dapping up OGs by their government names, stopping by Ed's Fish Place like it was just another Tuesday. No security, no handlers, no entourage. Just Buck and the people who had been in his corner since day one. And from that position, he started letting it fly. He made it clear from the jump that he had not been sleeping on none of this. He had been watching 50's whole troll campaign unfold in real time. He had been clocking every post, every meme, every personal attack. Every time 50 dragged somebody's name through the dirt for engagement, he had been biting his tongue through all of it. But not anymore. The birthday post was the one that finally broke the camel's back. Buck basically accused 50 of trying to manipulate fans' minds, shaping public opinion through trolling memes and humiliation until eventually the smoke catches back up with him. That was Buck calling out what a growing number of people in the culture have been whispering about for a minute now. That 50's whole operation at this point is built on controlling the narrative through humor and spectacle, memes instead of music, trolling instead of creating, internet warfare instead of real substance. And Buck was saying straight up, the jig is up. People are starting to see through the act, and it is only a matter of time before the rest catch on. Then Buck took it a step further and brought up the broader chaos around 50, saying you have all these kids and outside drama around you, but instead of handling your own business, you are on Instagram making AI memes about me on my birthday. That was a direct shot at 50's many side feuds and the way internet mess keeps circling his orbit. Buck's message was simple: get your own house in order before trying to burn down mine. Then came the part that really drove the point home. Buck said, all that internet tough talk is not translating to nothing real. He basically told 50, you are not going to do a thing. Keep that energy up there. Keep it on the internet, because down here in Tennessee, in the real streets of Nashville, it is a different type of real. And right around that point, Buck dropped the bar herd around the internet. The challenge that lit every standing on concrete with no security. The whole point was not logistics. Everybody knows somebody as famous as 50 cannot casually float around South Jamaica without causing a scene. The point was principle. Buck was standing in his hood, getting love from every direction. No barriers, no filters, no performance. And he was saying this is what it looks like when your community genuinely rocks with you. Can you say the same? Then Buck sealed the rant with a line that carried more weight than a lot of people probably even realized. He said it was his birthday. He was not signed to 50 anymore, and he did not owe him a quarter. That was a direct reference to the bankruptcy settlement where Buck paid 50 roughly $200,690 through the Nashville courts, officially clearing the financial debt that had been hanging over his head for years. The bag is paid. The contract is done. The chains are off. You do not have leverage over me anymore. But if Buck thought for 1 second that going off on live was going to make 50 back down, he was dead wrong. 50 reposted Buck's own footage to Instagram within hours and slapped a caption on it designed for maximum damage. He mocked Buck again, brought back the same old personal insinuations, and then landed on the line that spread through the hip-hop internet like a virus. Broke boy. 2 words. That was it. And within hours, every platform, every comment section, every group chat was running with it. What made it so cold, so ruthless, and so effective was how it completely reframed Buck's entire argument. Buck was out there saying, I walk my hood freely. I am loved, I am respected. I am home. And 50 flipped that upside down. He was basically saying, nah, the only reason you walk your hood freely is because you do not have anywhere else to go. You are not humble. You are stuck. You are not choosing the block. The block is all you got left. Whether true or cap. That is the kind of savage counterplay that has made 50 Cent one of the most feared names in hip-hop when it comes to public warfare. Tony Yayo jumped into the comments too, basically co-signing the idea that they be in Southside all the time. A bunch of outlets screenshotted it before posts got deleted or shifted. And 50 still was not done. He kept piling on with more reposts, more old references, more jabs designed to make it clear that there would be no reunion, no reconciliation, and definitely no mercy. The reactions split right down the middle. Some people were defending Buck's realness, saying at least he stood outside, at least he spoke from where he came from, at least he did not hide. Others said 50 had already won because once the internet attaches a nickname or a joke to you, the battle is halfway over before you even answer. And that is what makes this whole thing deeper than just a birthday spat. Because this is not new smoke. This is the latest flare-up in an 18-year war. Here is what sets this beef apart from most rap feuds. This is not some quick Twitter fingers drama that pops off and gets forgotten by the next news cycle. This is not some midnight diss track and then everybody moves on. This goes way deeper than that. It did not start with a meme, and it definitely did not start over a horse video on Instagram. It started like a lot of long-lasting hip-hop wars do. Over money, over contracts, over royalties, over publishing, and over what happens when the bond between brothers and the business of the music industry crash headfirst into each other. Young Buck came up with G-Unit around 2002 and 2003, and by 2004 he dropped Straight Outta which went platinum and helped put Nashville on the map in a whole new way. But behind the scenes, the foundation was already cracking. One major pressure point was the falling out between 50 Cent and Shaw Money XL, the group's manager and a key architect of the whole G-Unit machine. Buck was very close with Shaw Money, and when 50 wanted the camp to cut ties, Buck got stuck in the middle. From Buck's side, he felt like he was being asked to choose between loyalty to a brother and loyalty to his boss. And choices like that never end clean. Then the resentment started to build. Buck later described how he was being left off group shows while 50 Banks and Yayo moved around together. He felt isolated. He felt pushed out. And when he started speaking publicly about not really seeing publishing money, that hit 50 like a betrayal. In 2008, 50 made it official on Hot 97 that Young Buck was out of G. Cold, direct, no softness. And then came the moment that changed Buck's image forever. A secretly recorded phone call leaked. In that recording, Buck could be heard emotional, apologizing, and pleading with 50 not to sever things completely. In the ruthless climate of late 2000s hip-hop, where vulnerability was treated like weakness, that leak did massive damage. Buck tried to fight back with music, but you cannot out-rap a moment that has already gone viral in a way the culture decided was humiliating. From there, 50 kept the upper hand. Years passed. There was a brief reunion moment that got fans excited, but it did not hold. Then the trolling returned in nastier waves, with contract disputes, old rumors, copyright claims, money issues, and court cases all getting folded into the public mess. Eventually, the financial battle played out in bankruptcy court, and a settlement closed part of that chapter. But even when the legal paperwork was done, the public humiliation campaign never really stopped. Every time Buck seemed to pop back up, 50 found a way to turn it into content. That is why this latest birthday blow-up hit so hard. It was not just another joke. It tapped into almost 2 decades of public embarrassment, unresolved loyalty wounds, business fallout, and image damage. And for Buck, going live was not just about one meme. It was about years of swallowing disrespect and deciding, on his birthday of all days, that enough was enough. Now the big question is whether Buck just reignited a war he cannot win. And honestly, that depends on what winning even means here. If winning means dominating the internet, controlling the meme cycle, and turning every exchange into a viral punchline, then 50 is still the heavyweight champ. That man has mastered online humiliation, like it is a black belt discipline. He knows how to take one moment and flip it into 10 more. He knows how to weaponize captions, reposts, comments, and timing better than almost anybody in rap history. But if winning means standing in your city with your people, showing that you are still loved where it matters, and proving that somebody cannot completely erase your identity no matter how many jokes they crack, then Buck made his own kind of statement too. Messy, emotional, maybe risky, but real. That is why this whole thing has people split. One side sees Buck as crashing out into a trap 50 set perfectly. The other sees him as finally standing up for himself after years of getting played for laughs. Either way, one thing is clear, this beef is not dead, not even close. 50 turned Buck's birthday into content. Buck turned the humiliation into a hood challenge. The blogs turned it into a war. And now the whole internet is once again watching an 8-year grudge keep finding new ways to mutate. So the real question is not just what 50 posted or whether Buck can beat him in this kind of war. The real question is how long hip-hop is going to keep treating pain between former brothers like entertainment. Because beneath